almost went to jail the other day because a cop had horribly bad breath. So I got pulled over at a, routine stoplight check. And I was like, all right, whatever. I'm just waiting to mind my black business. He comes on through. Big old guy comes through. I can feel the aura that he's about to protrude from out. He said, roll down your window. I said, fine, already. And he rolled down and said, you know why I pulled you? I said, whoa, stop. I immediately backed away. I started rolling the window back up. He said, what are you doing? I said, hold on. Oh, I inched the window down. I said, hey, man, your breath smell like a morgue. He said, what? I can't do it. Hey, talk to me through a walkie-talkie or something. Get a can and some strings. Figure this out. This is bad. He said, we ain't got time for jokes. I'm serious. I said, yeah, I'm serious, too. This is bad. I need you to move back about 1,000 feet. I need you to do a sobriety test of your breath stank, and that's nuts. He said, okay, listen, I didn't come here to be insulted. You can berate me all you want to, but listen, we can't do this. We're doing a routine stop. You're checking your car. You got anything on you? I didn't want this man near my car. I didn't want this man near my family. I felt like his breath was going to give me rust. I felt like this man's breath was going to mess up my ear. I felt like I was about to throw up every time he spoke. I don't know what was going on. Maybe his dental gum health. Maybe his gut health was bad. I don't know what's happening. He gave me fibromyalgia by him breathing on me. I was so upset. I got cystic fibrosis because he kept breathing so heavy on my car. I felt my window melting. He was making condensation appear inside of my lungs. It was so bad. I was upset. I said, okay, let's roll back a little bit here. Here goes my ID. I slid it over the top. I said, here goes my ID and my thing. He said, all right, I'll be right back. And he didn't stop me. I'm happy about that. And then he says, so, just want to let you know that we had something did come up. And he explained all this stuff to me. And I said, I can't really pay attention to you, man, because something wrong with your breath. I'm so sorry. He said, step out of the car. I said, oh, come on. And another guy came up, another cop, because they realized it was taking a minute. Another cop came up, and the cop said, what's going on here? I can hear them having a conversation. He said, this guy's being very disrespectful, rude. He's antagonizing me. He's trying to get me to strike him. He's trying to get something out of me. I said, I'm not trying to do anything. I'm not trying to do that. I said, sir, I have a question for you. The other cop said, what's up? I said, please smell this man's breath. He said, okay, I don't see what the problem is. And then a cop blew the breath in the face, and he said, okay, all right, hey, wrap this up. I was like, cool. He said, wrap this up. Yep. Hey, man. Boy had some gum in his pocket and said, chew this. He said, is it that bad? Other cop said, yeah, it's really that bad. It's the worst I've smelled in all my days. You smell like boo-boo. You smell like boo-boo the food is what you smell like. You smell bad. You smell horrible. I was so happy. I felt like I was being gaslit by this cop. The fact that he was thinking his breath didn't smell. Maybe he couldn't smell it himself, but he's used to it. He just knows. But it's in your own mouth. It should go in your nose and actually burn your brain cells, is what I thought. But that was messy. Ended up driving off with a warning. That was nasty. Brush your teeth, cops. Brush your teeth.